Coming up on Fulton Today, important last-minute information for voters in the primary election next week. And elementary school students take their knowledge of the justice system into the courtroom. Highlights of their annual mock trial competition are coming up. Fulton Today is next.
From the Government Center in downtown Atlanta, you're watching Fulton Today.
Welcome to Fulton Today, everyone. I'm Lynn Vaughn, in for Sonia Chavis. The May 20th primary election is next week. Election officials have been urging as many people as possible to cast ballots during early voting. But if you miss that, you'll have to go to your assigned polling place on Election Day. Here now with more information on this primary election is FGTV's Priscilla Ortega. Priscilla.
The Registration and Elections Office has been working with the Secretary of State's office for months and running audits to make sure this election runs smoothly.
Fulton County Registration and Election, this is Anthony. How may I direct your call?
Months of preparation and more early voting locations than before.
Here you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's made this a successful primary election so far.
It was very easy. I have voted for many years, and this was as streamlined as it could be.
Early voting ends Wednesday, May 16th. After that, voters will have to wait until Tuesday, May 20th, primary election day, to vote at their precinct that's listed on their mailed-out precinct card. Many voters will be voting in different county commission districts this year.
So what you're going to want to do is make sure that you are aware of what commissioner district you're living in or you will be in for 2015.
Another thing to remember is to bring government-issued identification and at the polls, pick a party, either Republican or Democrat. There is also a choice for nonpartisan. But the nonpartisan ballot will not have any county commission races on it.
And the nonpartisan ballot consists of state court judges, and also it will have, if you're in Roswell or Johns Creek, it'll have those races that are in those two jurisdictions.
If you're at the polling site and you select nonpartisan but want to change it, you will have to alert a poll worker immediately. For those who requested a nonpartisan absentee ballot but want to change that so they can vote for a specific political party, should call the Registration and Elections Department at 404-612-7030 so they can get that changed as soon as possible. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Priscilla Ortega.
Well, the numbers are in, and the Affordable Care Act enrollment in Georgia was a big success. County commissioners joined health and state officials in announcing the numbers released by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
We're talking about 316,000 lives, 316,000 Americans that now have a better quality of life as a result of the Affordable Care Act. The idea that their sons and daughters have health care coverage, those that many who had high blood pressure, many who had diabetes, that were previously had problems with being covered because of pre-existing conditions, no longer have that challenge as Americans.
More than 92,000 were enrolled in Medicare. Many county departments like Cooperative Extension and Library Services assisted county residents with the enrollment process that included all ethnic and age groups.
We recognized here in Georgia more than 41.4% of the people that enrolled are actually white. More than 38.6% are African Americans, 3.6% are Latinos, 14.8% are Asians, 1.4% is multiracial, and American Alaskan Natives and Native American Pacific Islanders both share less than 1%.
Commission Chairman John Eves and District 6 Commissioner Joan Garner both express appreciation for the work of county officials in the enrollment process. And the county celebrates the importance of an active and informed electorate. Each year, judges, attorneys, court officials, community leaders, and school students take part in a Law Day observance. The theme for this year's celebration, Every Vote Counts. The winners of an art contest for students were announced as they talked about their election-themed art and video.
Our hope with the art competition was that it would educate the kids a bit about voting rights and whatnot.
This is about Black people being able to vote.
Our video focused on the fact that not all races and genders have always had the right to vote, and how people died for our right to vote, and how that should matter, and how everyone should exercise this right.
Although first and second place winners received cash prizes, all of the students came out on top.
I think it's important because, like Maya said, throughout our history, it hasn't always been everyone's right to vote, and so I think that exercising the right is very important because of the people who fought for it and what they did for us.
Our main topic was that every vote counts, and we really wanted to express the idea that every vote does count in our political system these days, when usually people think that, oh, well, it's fine, other people will vote, but really, it can cause a chain reaction. You and your friends all vote for the same people. If you don't vote, they might not vote either.
Several scholarships were also announced during the program, including the Washington Workshop Scholarship and an anti-gang scholarship. And a group of local elementary school students take their knowledge of the law and justice system to court. It's the district attorney's annual Legal Lives mock trial competition. After weeks of studying with volunteer assistant DAs, the students argue the case of the state versus James Sturgis.
All rise! The Superior Court of Fulton County is now in session. The Honorable Judge Willie Sirba is now presiding. The case of the state of Georgia versus James Sturgis, indictment number Z12345. You may now be seated.
The competition takes place in separate courtrooms at the Lewis Slayton Courthouse, with the students taking on the roles of attorneys, the victims, witnesses, jurors, and the judges.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Today, we will begin with the trial of the state of Georgia versus James Sturgis.
James Sturgis is accused of robbing Mrs. Jane Brown in the elevator of the building where she lives.
That's the knife he used.
Mr. Sturgis's mother testifies on behalf of her son, proclaiming his innocence.
Mrs. Sturgis, do you know how your son was arrested?
Yes, he was accused of committing a robbery, but he couldn't have done it. He was at home with me.
The prosecution argues Mr. Sturgis's guilt.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the prosecution met its burden. This case requires that you rely on all the evidence, because it is the evidence that will direct you towards the verdict. The only verdict is guilty.
While the defense calls it a case of mistaken identity.
James told you the truth when he said he did not commit any robbery. Now let's correct the mistake that has been made here today. Review the evidence and use your common sense, and I am sure that you will return a verdict of not guilty.
Students from a dozen schools take part in the competition and are awarded trophies for the best overall performance.
And now for the best overall school, the winner is M. Agnes Jones.
However, in this case, all of the students were winners.
This is our 18th mock trial competition for our Legalize program. This is a program that we started some 18 years ago, and the idea is that our lawyers and employees from the DA's office would get an opportunity to go out to elementary schools in our community to talk to young people about making better and wise decisions, to talk about our criminal justice system, but to give them an opportunity to participate in a mock trial proceeding.
The Legal Lives educational program was first created in 1990 by the district attorney's office in Brooklyn, New York.
Let's give State Bridge a real big round of applause.
Our grown-up students attending Fulton County Citizens University learn about the wide range of programs in human services. From housing to employment training and services for seniors, young people, and homeless persons.
Jefferson Place has been open since 1991. Over the years, we've helped hundreds of men rebuild, reclaim their lives, reunite with their families.
Students spent time learning more about housing and human services during week 5 of FCCU. Each division of the department talked about its services.
Our neighborhood stabilization program, which is not a formula-based program from HUD. It was a special program by the Obama administration to assist entities who are faced with foreclosure, abandoned, and vacant problems within their entities.
Many students were surprised by the number and variety of programs and services the county offers.
I was really impressed, first of all, that they have a grants program. That's amazing. And then I also didn't know about the extent of the services for homeless. I figured that there would be programs like that, but I wasn't aware of what they were, so I learned about those programs.
I didn't know about all of the nonprofits. I didn't know about the Fresh program either. He spoke to the Fresh program, and you know, which was a program that was for kids from birth to 21. I didn't know that, you know, it seems like it's a pretty simple way to get funding if you have a nonprofit to help the community. So that was something new. I wasn't aware of that, and I know people who have nonprofits, so I think it's good information I could share.
The next stop for the students is 911 emergency services. Coming up, the volunteers who dedicate their time to helping seniors are honored for what they do. We'll have more on that in our district-by-district coverage next.
You're watching Fulton Today.
Two commissioners are honored with appointments to outside boards, and a special group of volunteers is recognized for their work with seniors. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage. District 3 Commissioner Liz Hausman expands her leadership role with the Atlanta Fulton County Water Resources Commission. She has been appointed chairperson of the commission for 2014. Now, Commissioner Hausman previously served as chair in 2012 and as vice chair in 2011.
The Atlanta Fulton County Water Resources Commission is the body that oversees the water production and cleaning of the water for North Fulton County, which provides drinking water for Atlanta and North Fulton County. So I'm very pleased to serve on the commission and to have been elected chair for the upcoming year, and look forward to my service.
The 7-member Management Commission represents the City of Atlanta and Fulton County's water treatment facility in Johns Creek. The Water Commission represents 90% of water consumers in Fulton and the City of Atlanta. District 5 Commissioner Emma I. Darnell joins her colleagues in paying tribute to the county's older Americans.
Board of Commissioners of Fulton County honors the contributions of older adults, volunteers, family members, caregivers, and professionals who provide support and services for seniors, offers to its commitment to continue services that meet the needs of Fulton County seniors, and hereby proclaim May 2014 as Older Americans Month 2014 in Fulton County, Georgia. Let's give our seniors a hand.
51 years ago, President John F. Kennedy and the National Council of Senior Citizens established Older Americans Month. This year's theme is Safe Today, Healthy Tomorrow.
This community is blessed to have senior adults who wait and watch and work. And it is because of their strength that this board and all the people of Fulton County have come together symbolically to say thank you and congratulations to all of Fulton County's senior adults.
The county provides more than $17 million in services each year to its most valued citizens. There are 15 neighborhood senior centers, 4 multi-purpose facilities, and 5 adult day programs. District 6 Commissioner Joan Garner's passion for public service is paying off again. Last month, the commissioner was named 3rd District Representative to the Board of Managers for the Association of County Government.
As a member of the Board of Managers, I've actually been elected to represent District 3. And District 3 is the north central region of metro areas. And I will be responsible for helping to coordinate regional meetings, and I will also meet on a quarterly basis with all of the metro area chairpersons to talk about issues that affect all of our counties.
Commissioner Garner has been appointed to several AGGC committees since being elected to the Fulton County Board of Commissioners in 2010. She also serves in several leadership positions within the National Association of Counties, or NACO. And in District 7, the Bowden Senior Center celebrates Older Americans Month with a tribute to a very special group of people. The East Point facility hosted an appreciation luncheon for its volunteers who were recognized during an awards ceremony.
I volunteer because I enjoy giving back and serving. Being a caregiver for my mother for over 9 years before she passed away, it reminds me so much of her. So I thoroughly enjoy coming and helping and sharing with the seniors each and every day.
Bowden is a great center with a bunch of great people. So today I say thanks to all the volunteers. Some of the volunteers had more than over 1,000 hours. Showing the hard work that everyday people do.
The Bowden Senior Multipurpose Facility is the largest senior activity site in the district and was the first of its kind in the county. Now, you can catch more of our commissioners at work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. When we come back, a look at how county employees and their families spring into wellness and have a good time doing it. We'll be back after a break.
You're watching Fulton Today.
Hundreds of employees and their families sprang into wellness on a gorgeous Saturday at the 5th annual Spring into Wellness event. Our Jolene Butts-Freeman has the story.
Dancing, rock wall climbing, tasty healthy food, and massage therapists. Those were just some of the sights and sounds at this year's Spring into Wellness event at Centennial Olympic Park.
We should be more aware of fitness and health, and particularly our diet.
Blue Cross Blue Shield sponsored the event for Fulton County workers and their families. Crowds gathered around the mini booths to get health screenings and tips.
It is so important that we offer these health and wellness initiatives to our employees, because what it does is helps our employees not only morale-wise but productivity. We find that if happy, healthy employers are more productive.
The Spring into Wellness event had information for the whole family to make sure everyone knows how to avoid chronic illnesses like heart disease and diabetes.
I learned that that I need to watch my blood pressure and be careful of the things I eat that might have too much cholesterol in them.
The county puts a big emphasis on its employee wellness program because the less the county spends on medical care for workers, the more it can spend on services. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Jolene Butts-Freeman.
And there was plenty of music, recipes for healthy food, and 100 butterflies on hand to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Cooperative Extension. This was the third and final event to mark the occasion. It featured the release of the 100 butterflies to signify the pollination of information Cooperative Extension provides. Held in the downtown Government Center atrium, visitors enjoyed samples of tasty, low-fat foods and learned how to make them. They were also treated to free fruits and vegetables delivered by the Fulton Fresh mobile farmers market truck.
We have educational programs that are based in the community on community gardening, farming, food, health and nutrition, financial literacy, saving your money. We have all kinds of programs. Call our office if you have a question about anything. We probably can have a program for you.
For more information on Cooperative Extension's programs and services, call 404-332-2400. And this is interesting health news. A new study shows people involved in the criminal justice system are 3 times more likely to be addicted to smoking. Now, all federal prisons are required to be smoke-free, but according to the National Council for Behavioral Health, 97% of individuals released from correctional facilities relapse on tobacco after just 6 months. Fulton Medical Director Dr. Matthew McKenna says there are county services available to help anyone quit smoking.
There's opportunities to engage in educational campaigns with kids and adults, and also learn about motivation and ways to try to improve the community so that tobacco products are less used.
If you or someone you know needs help quitting smoking, go to smokefreecoalition.net. Still to come on Fulton Today, a look at some fun and creative and exciting summer activities for kids.
You're watching Fulton Today.
Welcome back to Fulton Today. Parents can now register their children for summer camp with the Parks and Recreation Department. The camps are for boys and girls ages 6 through 12. Breakfast and lunch are included. Activities include sports, games, and arts and crafts.
I think if kids come out to camp, they have a better social life. And with our camp, because we do know education is strictly fun, I think they have a better summer and be ready to go back to school in the fall.
To register for the Parks and Rec Summer Camp, call the park directly at the number on your screen. You can sign up for a week at a time with prices starting at $75 a week per child. And the Wolf Creek concert season is underway and fans are loving every minute of it. The season kicked off with the Men of Soul concert featuring Jeffrey Osborne, Peebo Bryson, and Freddie Jackson.
My first time. It's wonderful, wonderful experience. Yeah, a good seating. I don't think there are any bad seats in the whole place.
There are concerts lined up until September. Funk Fest is May 16th and 17th with Bobby Brown, the Isley Brothers, and Monica, just to name a few. After that, the Affordable Old School Concert Series will take place on June 7th with 112, Jagged Edge, and many others. To see the full list of shows and prices, go to wolfcreekamphitheater.com. And before we go, our reminder that we want to hear from you about the stories and programs here on FGTV. We invite you to go to our website to take a survey. You can also email us at fgtv.feedback@fultoncountyga.gov. You can also follow us on twitter.com/FGTV, friend us on Facebook, and watch us on YouTube. And that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Lynn Vaughn, in for Shania Chavis. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.